Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day, it's day 8 of the ETL2 challenge. So today is actually a split day for me. So I'm up this morning and then I'm going to take a nap this afternoon and then start working tonight. So it's day 8 technically starts tonight, but I want to make a crock pot soup. So I need to start that now. So this recipe is called Springtime Minestrone Crock Pot Soup with Nutritarian Parmesan. So I am going to put this up here so you guys can see the ingredients. In case you want to make a snapshot of that. There we go. And there are the instructions. Okay, so now you guys can have this if you want to. So I am mostly following the instructions on this one as far as the ingredients go. I kind of want to try it based on whatever flavor it is that this is supposed to be like. There are a few things that I don't have, actually just one thing I think that I don't have. 2, 3. There's just a couple things that I don't have, so we're going to ad lib on those, but I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. So first things first, you are supposed to cook everything in this crock pot on low for 6 hours with the exception of asparagus, peas, and watercress. I don't have watercress and I don't have asparagus, so neither of those are going in there anyway, and I'm not going to put peas in there because I'm going to put green beans in instead, because to me, minestrone soup has green beans always. I don't see it having peas. So anyways, those last few ingredients that are supposed to only go in for the last little bit, don't need to worry about those. But if you wanted to, those are you have the instructions and the ingredients on there, but I'm not going to worry about that part. So first things first, I have a diced onion, and it's supposed to be 3 chopped carrots. I don't know if that's 3 chopped carrots or not, but that's pretty darn close. So I'm going to put that into my crock pot. I just have my small crock pot out, not one of the big huge ones. I hope that's going to be okay space-wise. I'm not 100% certain. I think it'll be all right. So that goes into the crock pot. Going to put in 3 cloves of garlic minced. I had a hard time getting this garlic jug open the other day. Oh, it opened just fine. So garlic, and I'm just going to grab a spoonful out. I'm not going to measure that in any way, shape, or form because I like garlic. So there's that. The next thing is 3 cups of diced tomatoes. So I am actually going to use a can of petite diced tomatoes that I have drained. Not like drained, but some of the liquid has come off of there. This is actually less than 2 cans. So the reason that I'm using only 1 can of this rather than a can and a half or 2 is because one of the ingredients is for carrot juice. I have a carrot juice, but it's half carrot, half apple, which I'm not real sure about putting that in minestrone soup, and it's expired by several months. So I'm just gonna not do that, but I do have a low sodium vegetable broth or vegetable juice thing. So I'm going to use a cup of this in place of the cup of carrot juice, and because this is so tomatoey, I'm going to not put in a bunch the other can of tomatoes that I thought I might put in there. So this is gonna be in place of my carrot juice. Okay, so I've got my tomatoes in here. It calls for 1 can of cannellini beans. I have a can of Great Northern. They're almost identical to cannellini beans. No problems, that's just fine. So that goes in there next. Those have already been drained and rinsed. Next, it calls for 1/2 cup of hulless barley. I guess it's just barley without the shell. I'm not really sure what hulless barley is, but it has, it's not gluten-free, so it's not something that we have in our house. Actually, that's not true. I do have some. I just don't know why I still have it because we won't be using it. So I'm going to be using, this is oat groats. Looks like brown rice, but it's oat groats. So I'm going to put 1/2 cup of oat groats in there. And then the next ingredient is 1 small bunch of kale. Rough stems removed, leaves chopped. So the other day when I was at Trader Joe's with my husband, I found cruciferous crunch, which is Chef AJ's husband's favorite thing to eat for breakfast. She cooks this in the Instant Pot for him like every morning for breakfast. And so anyway, I found some of this. So I think I'm gonna use half of this bag. I know it only calls for 1 small bunch of kale, but you're also supposed to put in 3 cups of watercress at the end, and I'm not going to put in any watercress. So I'm going to actually use like half of that and put that in there now. Maybe. Okay, so about half the bag is gone. I'm gonna put a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So that is in there now. Then we've got some spices. So 1 teaspoon of oregano. oregano. I have a half teaspoon measuring device out, so I will just use 2 of those. And then the next ingredient is 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. So there's my thyme. Apparently I need to get some more thyme here pretty soon. So 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Oh, black pepper. 1/4 teaspoon. Measure that out. Okay, this is looking very pretty. And then it calls for 1 tablespoon Dr. Furman's matzo zest or other no salt seasoning blend adjusted to taste. I did purchase the matzo zest and I don't remember what the other one is called. He has 2 that are zest something or others. My mom has both of them. I don't have either of them. So I'm going to use 1.5, like half of a tablespoon of seasoning, no salt seasoning mix that I made when I was doing Dr. Greger's challenge. So I will attach that video in the description box. So if you guys wanted to see what was in this seasoning blend, you can go and take a look at it. But it's got a ton of different seasonings in it, like a bunch. So anyways, I'm gonna use 1/2 tablespoon of that. Okay, the next thing that it calls for are a bunch of liquids. So I'm gonna put in my other 2 solids before we move on to liquids. So I have about 1/3 of a bag of riced cauliflower left in the refrigerator from making the mushroom stroganoff the other day. I'm just going to put this in here because I think that will be fine in it'll be fine in soup. So I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so that's in there. And then I'm also going to put in, my boys had, what did I make last night? I made biscuits with a soy milk gravy-ish type thing. And they had biscuits and green beans, like a whole big bowl of green beans with the gravy and then the biscuits they dipped. And anyways, I've got, I used a full bag of green beans and then I have just a small amount of a second bag of green beans left. So I'm going to put the green beans in there. There's not very many in there, to be honest with you. My boys ate a bunch of green beans for supper last night, which is good for them. So yeah, this is what my crock pot looks like so far. It's beautiful. So the next thing and the last thing that actually you're going to be putting in here are liquids. So quit moving. So the first thing is 3 cups of low sodium veggie broth. So I made this better than bouillon into 3 cups of broth. So basically I always just warm the water up first so that it will try and dissolve the broth, but obviously I didn't do that great of a job because there's still some in there, but that's okay. There's that, and then you want to use 1 cup of carrot juice and 2 cups of water. So again, this is what I'm going to use for my 1 cup of carrot juice. I probably shouldn't mix this up really well. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So 1 cup of this. Then I need 2 cups of water. I will measure that out after I'm done with you guys. So that is all that's going to go in here, and it says to cook it on low for 6 hours. I am concerned about the 2 things. I'm concerned about the oat groats absorbing a ton of water. So this is what it looks like right now, and you guys can see the liquid at the edge starting to come up to the top. So hopefully another 2 cups of water will be enough to have enough liquid in here. We'll see. I'm also concerned about cooking it on low for 6 hours. So actually, it's 11 o'clock now. I'm going to get it started now. I don't need to take it out of here until 6 o'clock tonight before I go to work. I don't need to leave for work till 6:30. So it probably will be fine. It'll be 7 hours. I'm just gonna call it good. We're gonna hope that that's gonna be okay. I think it'll be all right. So 2 cups of water going to go in here. I'm going to go do that and put it on the other counter, get it plugged in and started, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about the Nutritarian Parmesan, because his is actually only 2 ingredients. Super, super straightforward. I actually am probably gonna add some garlic to his Nutritarian Parmesan because I like it that way. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyways, I'll be back with you guys in just a second. All right, guys, so Dr. Furman's Nutritarian Parmesan is 1/2 cup of either almonds, walnuts, or pine nuts. I have pine nuts and walnuts. I'm going to use the walnuts because I have 3 different containers of them in the freezer. I don't know why, I just do. and I don't even like walnuts that much, so I'm not really am not sure why I have 3 different containers. This will finish one of them though. That's a good thing. And then a half a cup of nooch. So like I said, I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in here. So this is a small container that I had of walnuts. There's almost, not quite half a cup in there. So the other one I have is a bag of organic walnuts from Costco. I think that my daughter, she likes pecans and she likes walnuts in her oatmeal in the morning, but she doesn't live at home anymore because she's at college. So I've got a bunch of nuts in the freezer that aren't being eaten. But anyways, so 1/2 cup of walnuts, 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. This is not, we don't buy this brand nutritional yeast, guys. I know this is the container that you always see, but we just use this one because it's little, it's convenient size. When we buy a big container of it at the, it's called the Natural Grocers? Yeah, Natural Grocers store. So Dr. Furman is real specific about the type of nooch that you buy and that you use. He wants it to be not fortified because he doesn't want you getting the folic acid and the nutritional yeast that's synthetic. So just FYI. Personally, mine's fortified, but you know, it shouldn't be because he says it's not supposed to be, but mine is. Anyways, excuse me. And then I'm going to use a scant 1 teaspoon of garlic. So I'm not going to use a full teaspoon, but that's what I'm measuring, and that's about what I'm going to use. It's got a little bit of space still in there, but anyways, that is that. Got it in a little NutriBullet. Going to blend that up, and that is going to be the topping for the soup. So I am not going to put this on the soup right away. I'm going to take this with me. I don't need all of that, obviously. But I'm going to take this with me to sprinkle on some of my soup when I go to eat it tonight. But I'm going to make this, and then tonight I am going to do a taste test for you before I go to work so that we can discuss whether it needs any additional anything to it. You are supposed to add peas and asparagus, like I said. I'm not going to do either of those things. Watercress as well I'm not going to do. I think that cruciferous crunch is going to go really well in that soup. And it's already chopped up and already ready to go for me, which is cheating and wonderful. So there you go. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna do, and I will see you guys again tonight. Hope you're having a good one. Alrighty guys, so it is time for me to get ready to go to work, and I have a bowl of soup. I'm actually gonna take 2 bowls of soup. That's kind of one of the nice things about doing this whole crock pot thing is that I have enough food to take with me. And I know I'm supposed to take a salad. However, this is chock full of vegetables. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't just take 2 bowls of this. I don't think it's going to be any kind of a problem. There is a little bit of the oat groats in here, but I don't think that, I think this is plenty well healthy. The nooch, okay, so here's the deal about the nooch. The Nutritarian Parmesan, my husband really doesn't care for it. He really likes the way that I normally would make that, so I'll put a link in here in the description box for how I normally make vegan Parmesan cheese. It's really delicious the way I usually make it, but I really like this one, so I would give it a try. 1-to-1 walnuts to nooch with, so I did a half a cup of each and not quite a teaspoon of the garlic powder. I think it's really good. He thinks it's really gross, so keep that in mind. Let's try this. Yeah, the cheese on there is very good. Like the cheese on it's really good. Very hot. Whew. Okay, so I could totally take that with me. I'll let you know in the morning after I've eaten like an entire bowl of it, what I think of it, but it's pretty good. So that is it for me for the moment. I will see you guys in the morning, and I hope you had a great day. All right, guys, so update from my night. The soup was really good. So I really liked it with the Nutritarian Parmesan. I thought that was fabulous together. The two went really well. I have made it home. I had 2 bowls of soup, and I took an apple with me that I cut in half and ate that. I also took a tablespoon of flaxseed because I'm not doing a very good job of getting that in me, and just dumped it into one of my bowls of soup, and that was fine. Because I used the oat groats, it was very creamy and thick. It was really good. It wasn't really a soup any longer. It was more like stew, which was totally fine. But anyways, it was good. I would try that recipe if you're interested in a different minestrone type recipe. Yeah, so I'm home and I need to exercise. So I'm going to go take care of that. I'm just upstairs in the closet to get changed, and so I thought I would update you guys real quick. So I'm going to go do that, and I think I'm going to go to bed early because I'm really tired. So I'm just going to go to bed after I get done working out. I mean, it might take me a little while to calm down and cool down and all that good stuff, but otherwise, that's it for me for today, guys. Yeah, I will talk to you guys again tonight and hope you had a great day.